The box arrived last Friday. Our mailman, Mario, brought it. We took a photo. I opened the box with my pink pocket knife. My hands were not shaking. Then I saw her. For in my mind, the book is a she. Maybe because in Russian, the book, kniga, is feminine. Well, if I ever had any doubts, and some books did look masculine, which they did, or felt like they had no gender correlation or were confused, my book was definitely a she. And she was skinny. She's too skinny, I said, sitting over the box, my hands empty. She doesn't feel real. Bring it up, said Sammy, camera in his hands. He always has a camera in his hand. Smile. Photographer. I smiled. Sometimes, don't tell anyone, but sometimes my smiles do not mean a smile. A month ago, I was in Morocco at a bazaar in Marrakesh, and a man in a long robe threw a yellow snake around my neck. It felt like warm rubber. I don't like snakes around my neck. I like the idea of a snake. There's a lot of, tinted skin, but not a real live snake bouncing around my neck. The man grabbed my camera, wanted some money, and took a picture. In the picture, I'm smiling. I can think of many other times, like at a cemetery when the sculptor unveiled the tombstone of my friend and then of my mother. Look, isn't it great? A dove here and an animal for the heart. She looks alive. I smiled. That kind of a smile. Sometimes you smile when you don't. So I smiled at the camera. That photo went on Facebook. You probably saw it and liked it and all this. Then I fell apart. To prove that it is real, Sammy, like a good Zen master, slapped me with a book. My copy of the book, mind you, not for sale. The slap rang and tingled. It still did not feel real. Sammy pulled a book off the shelf, the same size and as skinny. Medieval Christian plays. Is this real? Yes. Is that real? No. Later, alone, I sat down to rethink my definition of reality. This is very important. And of what is real. I was clearly suffering from derealization, a symptom characteristic of numerous psychiatric and neurological disorders. The external world is experienced as uncanny and unreal. Taryn read a lot about it. It happens to many people, otherwise healthy, possibly, under stress. I knew that because I wrote a whole novel about derealization, depersonalization, and dissociation, we monsters, the novel didn't feel real either. What is real? I went on the internet and found reality on Wikipedia. In philosophy, reality is the state of things as they actually exist, rather than as they may appear or might be imagined. This book might only appear to be a book, or my book, can't it? In a wider definition, reality includes everything that is and has been, like me and you, sitting on the chairs here and right now, whether or not it is observable or comprehensible. That was pretty incomprehensible, but so what? According to Wikipedia, it was still a reality.
A still more broad definition includes everything that has existed, exists, or will exist.
I skipped through the piece about philosophers, mathematicians, and other ancient and modern thinkers such as Aristotle, Plato, and Russell. Reality is often contrasted with what is imaginary, delusional. Only in the mind dreams of what is, attention,
Fictional.
attention! Fictions are considered not real. This is it! Hallelujah! Eureka! Glory to Wikipedia! My book really is not real. It is considered fiction, and fictions are considered not real. So, if you get my book, you will get a piece of non-reality. I think it is pretty cool. It is really unreal. Except a long time ago, those fictions actually, for real, were real. More real than anything I see around me these days. My book is dedicated to my friend Alina, who died. She couldn't stand the reality and she died. And only her tombstone in a faraway cemetery in Russia is tangible, palpable, an animal photo, a dove, and a heart. In my longing to get her back, I tried to make her real, more real than life in my story, The Cross of David. That's all about her, and I didn't make her real. I couldn't have her back. Many things that happened to us were uncanny. What is more uncanny, they repeat again now with a nightmarish persistence. My narrative is personal, intimate almost, yet I see how, as a book, it suddenly becomes political. Sharing your story makes you a social creature, a grown-up all of a sudden. My story of one person trying to survive merely suddenly becomes a story of a country, of a crazy, mad country. The Hungry Duck story in my book is actually my punk prayer on the altar of the church where I'm not allowed to enter. It is my Pussy Riot scream written way before this happened back in Russia this summer. This is a piece from my story. Nadia was alone, outside, sleepwalking, no coat, no bag, down the ice-covered dark street, as if balanced on a beam. She looked up. A rectangular building hung over her, nightmarish, like a raven's wing. The snow squeaked beneath her sequined heels. Everyone in Moscow knew that building. It was Lubyanka, the KGB headquarters, the mother of all prisons. She stared at the massive brick building. For a second, she thought that maybe her father was being tortured there, in the basement, underneath her feet. Now, there was no movement, but she felt that the building was watching her out of its many windows, as if there were eyes. Perfectly still, Lubyanka hung over her like a giant coffin, like death, like the curse. The fear shouted in her, a field mouse in a hole. She ran down the street and to the Red Square. The Kremlin wall quivered over her head. The pavement shook. The chorus of laughing women ran in her ears, a thunder power of hell. Our army grew up in the heat of grim battle. Barbarian invaders will swiftly strike down. In combat, the fate of the future will settle. Our country will lead us to eternal renown. Then she realized what was so terrible. The night was red. The darkness itself was red. The meaty bricks of the Kremlin wall, its sharp teeth, the red finger of the tower, Russia? What is real? Is pain real? Is memory real? Is love and fear real? What is fiction? What is real? What is a book? Thank you.